This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, and today we will be doing the AEW Redemption predictions and whatnot. And I spoke about this on Thursday when I did the AEW Dynamite recap of some of the stuff that happened. And honestly, the go-home show was not great at all. To be honest, a lot of people thought that the go-home show was good. I didn't find it great. There was something missing, but we are here today to talk about the card that they're having tomorrow night from, I believe it's from Montreal. They have 10 matches scheduled for tomorrow. Now, this is not including the buy-in, the 0 hour. You know they're going to put another 3 matches in there. My question is why? Why so many matches? This is a pay-per-view that pretty much, they was thrown in and last-minute stuff and whatnot. But we're going to go through the matches. Again, that right now that I know of, there has not been no buy-in or 0 hour matches announced. And maybe tonight at Collision, they'll probably bring up a match or two or whatever. But right now we're going to go through what I have here. And I think this is the way they're going to have it set up as far as matches. But, sometimes I'll say, oh, this is the first match of the night, but usually it's not. But probably the first match of the night will be the no-holds-barred match between Chris Jericho and Tomasso Ciampa. Now, as you guys well know, that Chris Jericho is bringing back maybe one of my favorites, gimmick that he had is the Paymaker. What's up, Justin? Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. So he's going to come out as the Paymaker. Now, the last match that these two had, we saw Ciampa pretty much made Jericho bleed after he hit him with the steel steps. I have a feeling that this match, I'm giving it to Chris Jericho. The reason why, because he's coming out with this gimmick. And there's going to be blood spilled because there's a no-holds-barred. So I won't be surprised you'll see Ciampa bleeding, whatever. But this match is probably going to be maybe better than they had a couple of weeks ago in Clearwater, Florida, or whatnot. Because what was amazing about that match was the match was great, but the promo leading up to this match was horrible. It was just like when these two went and did the promos to start off the storyline, it was not clicking. For some untold reason, it wasn't clicking. And I kept saying there's something missing with these two. Yeah, they brawl around the ring every other week, whatever. You had Ciampa saying he's better than Jericho, but it was more like once they had the mics in front of them, it wasn't the same. It was not the same. So it was pretty much kind of dull, the promos, but the match between them two, the first one they had in Clearwater, Florida, and Dynamite was a good match, which surprised me because Ciampa ended up, even though he used some sand and threw it in Jericho's eye, but he ended up pinning Chris Jericho. So that match, expect this match to be very, very bloody. So this is going to be a match. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when that match happens. And then we have the AEW World Tag Team title match between Adam Copeland, Christian Cage versus Death Rider, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac. Now, the one thing I got to ask myself is, before I do this, let me see, Ciampa should win this, but I don't see it happening. No, he's not going to win because he already pinned Jericho and Dynamite. So this one is going to go even, 1-on-1. Maybe they'll have another match at All In. I don't know what type of match they'll have because this is a no disqualification. What up, Steve? going on? Thank you for being here. But yeah, I see Ciampa losing this match. I could be wrong, but I mean, he already pinned Chris Jericho, which leads to Jericho coming back as the Painmaker in this situation. So he'll probably beat him. It's gonna be bloody. I know it's gonna be. These guys are gonna bleed. But the next match will be the tag team title match, which to me, I think the Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, the world champion, versus Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. To be honest, there wasn't much build to this match. They just threw this match together. I mean, there wasn't a lot of build. Yes, this is probably leading to for them having their match against the War Dogs. But the whole thing with the Death Riders and War Dogs is kind of confusing, like I said in the past. So all of a sudden, we have Claudio Castagnoli and Pac getting a title shot. My question is, how the hell did they get a title shot when these guys barely team up with each other? So it kind of threw me off because I'm still waiting for the ladder match between the Youngbucks, the War Dogs, Christian Cage, and Adam Copeland. And like I said, I just throw stuff out there because it will make sense to have a match with, now that you got Christian Cage and Copeland together. I don't know. I mean, Copeland and Cage is about to retire. I think in October is when Adam Copeland is retiring. So why not have that match? But having a match for the world titles kind of reminds me what Tony Khan did with Divine Dominion. They put him in a match last time when it was the Forbidden Door against Thunder Rosa and Olympia. These women never teamed up ever, and they had them in the ring against Divine Dominion for the tag belts, which didn't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But like I said, to me, I have this is easiest one. I don't see Pac. I don't see Pac, and I definitely don't see Claudio winning the tag team belts. I think that you're right. There's no buildup. There was no buildup. So that's why I was like, I think they just threw this match just for the hell of it. But then my question is, so if you have Pac and Claudio lose to these guys, what's the point of that? Where are we going with this? Because they just put this match together. Again, you're having 10 matches in this pay-per-view. I mean, 10 too many. Or, I mean, 7 would have been fine. But 10? You know what I'm saying? And again, just threw a tag team match out of nowhere. Having Claudio and Claudio and Pac challenged the world champs when they're not really a tag team. They're part of a group, but they barely team up together. So there was no build-up, like Steve says. There was no build-up at all. So how you get this match going? What's the story behind this? Unless you're going to surprise us with something that's going to lead to All In, I don't know. So Steve says this is a bathroom break match. Copeland, Christian, Claudio. I mean, I doubt it's going to be a bathroom break because I mean, you're talking about 4 guys that can go. This is not something. This is not a match where it's like a bathroom break will be like Boom, whatever that guy, whatever his name is, that does the cookie shit with the kids. That's a bathroom break. But this match is going to be good. And my question, it's not a point of it's a bathroom break. I think it's just the point of what was the point of putting this match together? Are they going to go? I mean, I'm sure they're going to put a great match. My question is, what's the end goal out of this? What is the end goal? Because if all right, they beat Pac and Claudio, now what? What are we doing for All In? And All In is probably 30 days from now, probably less. So we'll see. We'll see. And then we have the TBS championship match between Hikaru Shida versus Maya World. I mean, they're really pushing this Maya World girl up. And they're pushing her hard. And when Shida right now, I don't see Maya World beating her at all. It's going to be an all right match and whatnot. think Shida, her being a TBS champion, it's a good thing because you need some heel. But Maya World's not the girl that she should be in that ring with. I mean, Maya World, yeah, she lasted. She had a good match with Mercedes Moné at the Forbidden Door for the Owen Cup. You know what I'm saying? And they're pushing her hard. Don't get me wrong. They're pushing Maya World. And that's the way Tony Khan is. He's going to give you opportunities after opportunities. But I think Shida should have wrestled, what's her name? Chris Stanlander. Unless Stanlander is hurt, that's the way I can only see it. Stanlander is hurt. But Chris Stanlander should be getting a shot at the TBS title. You know, saying not Maya World. Maya World hasn't beaten anybody to get a TBS title shot. You know what I'm saying? Even if I saw Collision, I still haven't seen this girl beat anybody, you know, to get a title shot. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason she's getting a title shot because she got involved in a match and whatnot. So it makes no, I don't know, makes no sense. Steve says Shida retains. Athena attacks her after the match, shaping up Athena versus Maya at Death Before Dishonor in August. And Philly, Maya beating Athena. Nah, I don't see that happening. I mean, if that was to happen again, Maya World still has work to do. If you see her work in the ring, she's not on point. You're gonna have Maya World beat Athena for the Ring of Honor title. If it happens, then guess what? If you're gonna have Maya World beat Athena for the title, then you got to bring Athena to AEW for good. Because Athena should have been in AEW a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she has a victory over her, but I mean, that was during the Owen Hart tournament because they were pushing the whole point, which I didn't understand because honestly, I would have rather see Athena versus Mercedes Moné, you know what I'm saying, from the second match against each other from the time thing was sometime last year or the year before, you know what I'm saying, but they went with Maya World, even though the match was good. But if you're going to have Maya World beat Athena Death Before Dishonor, then you need to bring Athena into the women's division in AEW for good, for her to stay there. Because Athena has beaten everybody in Ring of Honor. You know what I'm saying? Maya World still needs work. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm still bugging out. Like, why is she getting a title shot against Shida? Just because she interfered in a match? You know what I'm saying? It makes, to me, I'm like, okay, what's the deal with this? You know? So I got Shida winning this. She's going to find a way to cheat. She's going to be Maya World. I'm sure Maya's going to give her a run for her money, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then we have a 6-way ladder match to determine the number 1 contender for the AEW International Championship. God forgive me, but I'm going to tell you one thing about these ladder matches. All that does is get people hurt. I'm not too crazy about ladder matches, okay? Look who's involved in this 6-way ladder match. You have Jack Perry, Beast Mortis, Commander, Speedball Mike Bailey, Nick Wayne, and a clone. Now, all these wrestlers here that I just mentioned, besides, I could say Beast Mortis is not really a high flyer. Jack Perry, maybe. Speedball Mike Bailey does high flying stuff. Nick Wayne, I don't think he's going to be doing no high flying stuff, especially after he broke his ankle and whatnot. I got Jack Perry winning this whole thing and whatnot. And he's probably going to get the next AEW International title shot. Unless they give it to Speedball Mike Bailey, which I doubt it because I think Mike Bailey is still going to have to end up wrestling Kevin Knight. I think he's the one who's going to beat Kevin Knight for the belt. So we'll see. What's this? Hey, what's up, OPC? Say Maya would challenge Athena at Death Before Ring of Honor paper for sure. To be honest, Billy Starr should have been winning that belt over Athena, but not sure why they didn't decide that. But it is what it is. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they had a good feud a couple of years ago, but I mean, Billy Stark would have beat her. I mean, Ring of Honor needed. Athena is like, if you mention Ring of Honor, Athena's Ring of Honor. She's the face of Ring of Honor right now. It's not Bandido. You know what I'm saying? You know, It's not Bandido, and it's definitely Athena. Uh, Steve says he agree. I'm picking Perry and Speedball. Yeah, that's the way I see it. I think Jack Perry's going to get the next title shot at Kyle Fletcher for the international, but he's not going to beat Kyle Fletcher. Let me tell you that. He's not going to beat Kyle Fletcher. I have Okada winning the belt back. Some way or the other, we saw it this past week where Okada hit Fletcher with a Rainmaker, and you saw his face. He was like, "Oh well, I hit you," and then he was like, "I'm sorry." It was the most funniest shit I saw. But Jack Perry's going to be the next one who's going to get a title shot at at Kyle Fletcher and whatnot. And to make it, and I'm gonna let you know this right now, and I could be wrong, but the way I look at it, Jack Perry is going to get a title shot, but it's not going to be at All In. I have Okada versus Kyle Fletcher for All In, for the title, because there's a lot of animosity going on in the Don Callis family. Is it me, or this is the first time I've ever seen a faction that everybody's disagreeing with each other? It's like they want to beat her. You got Kyle Fletcher arguing with Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's showing off, talking about he don't need the Don Callis family, but yeah, he's part of the Don Callis family. So I like it because it's like, this is just a how you call it, a way for them to have you wondering, okay, who's going to be the next one who's going to leave? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Steve says he wonders if they do it in Mexico. Grand Slam Mexico, maybe. Yeah, that could be a good match. I wonder when is the Grand Slam Mexico? Is that the ending of this month, the beginning of next month? So, but yeah, and again, it's like Steve said, Speedball is beating Kevin Knight. It's just a matter of time. They just gotta put it all together and whatnot. But I could see that happening. Maybe I could see Kevin Knight, losing the TNT title. I don't see it happening very quickly. I thought that because the guy, I like it. I like it a lot and whatnot. So, it's gonna be interesting. The whole thing with the Don Callis family is very interesting. Very interesting. I still waiting for Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta leaving the Don Callis because they always they're the weak link of the whole faction. They are the weak link of the faction. I'll tell you right now. So, the next match, Kyle Fletcher versus Bandido. Now, I told this to my boy today. I said, haven't you noticed that every time Bandido and Brody King are in a tag team match against their opponents, and the opponents, one of them is have a championship, Bandido always ends up getting a title shot. You know what I'm saying? The last time it was Moxley. That was the last one I remember. Okay. Even though he didn't pin Moxley, he pinned Daniel Garcia, he got a shot at the belt. Same thing now. This time he beat Kyle Fletcher because Okada hit Fletcher by mistake with the Rainmaker. And he did the 21 card, whatever the hell they call that move he does. Now, I'm still waiting. Okay. I'm still waiting for Brody King to turn on Bandido. I'm just like, I sense it. I could be wrong, but I sense it. The pattern. I'm looking at the pattern that's been going on for the last couple of months. Bandido is getting all the title shot. Meanwhile, Brody King is in the backdrop, being a tag team, being a good partner, whatever. And it could happen. I don't know. And this might be the potential the match of the night. Fletcher against Bandido. That's going to be dope. This match is going to be dope. Anybody who tells me otherwise, they have a problem. They don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So you're right, Steve. This might be the match of the night. This might steal the whole show because Fletcher could go. We know that. Bandido could go. And Bandido had a match with Takeshita last year, a couple of them, where Takeshita challenged him for the Ring of Honor title, and that was a dope match. I think it was definitely for Dishonor last year. You know what I'm saying? So I could see this happening where these two are probably gonna, who knows? He said who? And it's funny you mentioned him, Bobby Matthews, since he's clear, costing Bandido. Yeah. Well, don't be surprised if Brody King turns on Bandido, and then next week we see Buddy Matthews pop out next Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up. That could happen also. But Buddy Matthews is funny because I was talking to my friend about that today, about Buddy Matthews, because he's been hurt for a while. I think over a year and a half. So, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see this match. I have Kyle Fletcher winning this match. And, again, and I've been mentioning this, and I think I did it with Mike De Niro. We talked about how Bandido has already lost to Andrades. He has lost to Swerve. He has lost to Moxley. He's about to lose again to Fletcher. Again, he's walking around as the Ring of Honor World Champion. You need to take that belt away from him because Tony Khan is making Ring of Honor look bad by not having him lose that belt because he's the world champion. The world champion should not be losing at AEW Dynamite or AEW pay-per-views because you're making him look weak. Okay? Bandido has had this belt for a year or over a year, and he's losing matches. So right now, if I was a booking guy, I would have already gave Andrade the title shot. I would have gave Moxley want to get a title shot because he has the Intercontinental belt, the Continental belt. You know what I'm saying? Rouge is not going to beat Bandido, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Bandido beat Rouge a couple of years ago for that belt before the pandemic. It was in 2019. So, you know what I'm saying? And talking about Rouge should be pushed, but there's a lot of things going on. I don't know what's going on, especially with a lot of the rumors going around with the whole Fox Young Nobles, Sammy Guevara, and all that. But we'll talk about that later on. So, but I have Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher and Okada will be probably the ones they're gonna be facing each other at All In. Why not have that match? That match is gonna be dope. Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. Take my money. Take my money on that. So, and then we have the double chain tag team match. The Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and Juice Robinson versus the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connors. Right now, this match, does the Bang Bang Gang need to win? Maybe not. Or the reason they'll give the Bang Bang Gang the win because Jay White gets even with David Finlay. Because remember, David Finlay hit Jay White 2 years ago with the shillelagh, took him out of Bullet Club and whatnot, and the rest was history. And Jay White came back at Forbidden Door, got even with him and whatnot. And then this week, we saw David Finlay again hit Jay White with the shillelagh, knocking him out and taking the shillelagh back that supposedly Jay White had took away from him. So I think maybe the Dogs lose, but if they win, I could guarantee you. Matter of fact, I can't. Let me not guarantee you because you will not see Gabe Kidd there. You know what I'm saying? Unless Gabe Kidd is in the G1, so I doubt it. Gabe Kidd is going to travel from all the way to Japan to come down to Montreal to be involved in the match that really he's not part of it. So I could probably see the Dogs losing to Jay White. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you're right, Steve. Said it's going to be a toss-up. Picking Bang Bang Gang since Jay White is back. If Kid didn't have visa issues, I will pick the Dogs. I don't think he have. They keep saying he has visa issues, but he's in the G1. That's why he's not back in Japan. But maybe the storyline for him to make it look like he can't go back. Remember, we're still waiting for this whole AEW versus New Japan storyline that he started back in April, but nothing really is coming out of that. and whatnot. So it's just like everything is put on hold because, first of all, like I said, Gabe Kidd is on the G1 in the climate. That tournament is like a month, so he won't be available to come back to AEW till like September probably. Who knows? But so yeah, I got the Bang Bang Gang, and it's true. It's true what Steve said. Just because Jay White is back, but if they lose, this is not the end of that whole thing. Well, once Gabe Kidd come back, they might, and who knows who's going to be the extra guy. And I mean, Steve heard me say this the other day, and that was I see not Jay White, David Finland being the new leader of the Death Riders. And we're going to find out once All In is over and whatnot with this whole Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega stuff, and John Moxley. We'll see about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's we're gonna have to wait for a couple of months for this shit to happen. See what happens. Then we have the AEW National Title: Mark Davis versus Andrade El Idolo. Crazy as it sounds, I got Andrade winning the title. You know what I'm saying? Mark Davis had his little run. You know, they have their little run against his national title. So I think he has had the belt for a couple of months. I mean, if you look at it, I don't think anybody who has had the national title has lasted more than 2-3 months. And Mark Davis has had this belt since May, I think, when Ricochet got involved. Yes, since May. It was like a couple of weeks before Double or Nothing. So Andrade is probably going to win the belt and whatnot. And remember, Andrade has the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. If he doesn't win the match, I don't see MJF coming out to get involved in that and whatnot. But because I think MJF I think the reason he gave up his belt because he was really injured because of his match with Rush and whatnot. He hyperextended his knee. So I have Andrade Elo winning the title. You know what I'm saying? If no MJF, it said depends on MJF. But I mean, depends on MJF. If no MJF, Andrade if there MJF Davis retrains. Davis being great wrestling solo. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I got Andrade. I don't see MJF being part of the show and whatnot. He hasn't been seen in Dynamite. I think he's recuperating, and I think he'll return. Like I say, he's probably going to return at All In and cost Ospreay the title. There's so many things happening when it comes to this world title match coming at All In that it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I will get to that before the ending of the show. But it's if there's an MJF, yeah, Mark Davis will retain because MJ is going to get even with him because he took his he got the ring, and the only way he got the ring is because Ospreay gave it to him, and Ospreay and Andrade are part of the United Empire. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a lot of sense because I'm sure people will be like, how the hell did Andrade get the diamond ring if him and Ospreay don't? No, they are part of the United Empire in Japan. So that's the way we're looking at it. So I got Andrade winning the AEW national title. Then we have the Death Rider versus Will Ospreay and John Moxley. Actually, Will Ospreay and John Moxley versus the Youngbucks. Just my brain went dead there. I see Ospreay and Moxley winning this, and I have a feeling that the Death Riders are going to get involved. Marina Shafir is going to be somewhere in there. They're going to cause the Young Bucks the match. This is going to be crazy. This match is going to be dope, especially with Will Ospreay there. This is going to be a high flying match when it comes to the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks are going to do the same thing they usually do. A lot of the high flying stuff, whatever. Moxley's going to ground them. Moxley probably going to get thrown around, thrown all over the floor. Body pressed on, all kinds of stuff. But once Moxley grounds these guys, it's going to be a whole storyline. But I have a feeling that Ospreay and Moxley are going to win the match. And it's going to be something that either Moxley's going to do that's going to cost the Young Bucks the match with outside interference from the Death Riders or something, busting somebody's head open, where Kenny Omega is going to be like wondering, this is what Ospreay is all about now that he's with the Death Riders. And in reality, I mean, you saw Ospreay's, attitude when, Kenny Omega threw him on the floor. So it's just a lot of stirring the pot when it comes to Moxley. So this is going to be a good match. I got Ospreay and Moxley winning this match. I don't see the Young Bucks winning this match at all. It could be even the War Dogs may get involved. I mean, the War Dogs just beat the Young Bucks a couple of weeks ago. So anything could happen in this. This match is going to be crazy because this is going to determine a lot when it comes to the whole All-In championship match and whatnot. Steve says the Death Riders. Yeah, Death Riders are going to win. And then he also talks about the Mexico for the ring, Andrade versus MJ if he's 100%. For the ring. That's interesting. So even though it's MJF's ring, but we'll see about that. So yeah, I mean, because again, when it comes to the Death Riders are going to win, and I say this because this is going to determine a lot of things. We already saw on Dynamite this week the tension. Omega and Moxley almost going at it. Ospreay trying to be the peacemaker. He got thrown down the floor. Omega and him got into an argument. The Young Bucks get involved. So we may be seeing again the Elite versus the Death Riders again. And the only person that we have not seen, that we only saw one time in Collision, and that was Hangman Page. Hangman Page has not been anywhere after he came on Collision. He hasn't come out anymore. So something happens where, things get out of hand or whatever. Don't be surprised if Hangman comes out to defend the Young Bucks, or anything can happen. So we'll see about that. It's going to be very, very interesting. A very interesting match. This is one of the ones that I'm looking for because, it's going to determine a lot of things when it comes to the world title match and All In. Then we have the women's world title, Thekla versus Willow Nightingale. Now, this is an interesting situation and whatnot because AEW usually don't put heel versus heel. Rarely, especially now with a championship match coming up at All In. Now, Mercedes won the Owen Hart. Now, we saw Mercedes attacking Thekla, right? She even had the Divine Dominion as her bodyguards, her little group now. The Sisters of Sin just fought the Divine Dominion. So now, and they lost, to top it off. Thekla is the world champion. Now, Willow and Mercedes Moné has had history. Willow beat this shit. Matter of fact, Willow beat Mercedes at the ending of the year, of that last year. It was the ending of the last year, and won the TBS title and whatnot. And now, the way I'm looking at this whole thing, the Thekla versus Willow, it might be a good match, but that promo they did this Wednesday, it was fucking horrible. It was like, and then with Mick Foley in there, I don't know why. And I said this in my audio podcast on Thursday, that Mick Foley being in the middle of a promo between two women, why is he there? What's the point? But anyway, that's besides the point. But the promo was horrible. Now, do I think these women could go? Oh yeah, they could go. Thekla could go. Willow Nightingale could go. But wouldn't it be crazy, right? If Steven, you just took the words out of my mouth. If Willow wins the title, holds the belt for a month, and then loses the belt to Mercedes Moné. You know what I'm saying? Because they won and won. The first time Mercedes beat Willow, took the TBS title, and then it was Willow who beat her last year for the belt. So now this is the third. It could be the third epic because I don't see I don't see Mercedes versus Thekla. I really don't. I mean, when Mercedes won the Owen Hart, I'm like, okay, so Thekla, Thekla ended up fighting Starlight Kid at Forbidden Door. She didn't really fight anybody. And then the people that she was fighting, you know, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor, and I'm like, okay, you know, and I figured like Willow was the TBS champ, so the only person that I thought that probably could beat her was what's her name? No, I think she beat Chris Stanlander for the belt. I don't remember, but anyway, the bottom. But this will make more sense. Willow versus Mercedes at All In. So I will not be surprised. And I thought about this one. I try to look at all the various variables and whole thing, the storyline, all that. But Thekla has had her run and whatnot. So and then the fact that we saw Divine Dominion beat the Sisters of Sin this past Wednesday told me that Thekla will be losing the belt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I could see Thekla losing the belt to Willow because of what I saw in that tag team match. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, the Sisters of Sin just lost. So now what? You know what I'm saying? So now we could probably see Willow beat Thekla for the world title. So I got Willow winning this match. So then we have the men's world title. Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight. This is going to be a good match. But I see Omega winning this match. Omega's not losing to Kevin Knight. You know what I'm saying? And is Darby going to come out? I doubt it. Maybe he will. But Darby right now lost to Kevin Knight. And the way he lost was because Knight went and hit him with the belt. So I don't think that feud is over. I think it's going to be a no disqualification, and you do not want to be in no wrestling match for the belt with Darby Allin in no disqualification match. You're not winning. You know what I'm saying? The chances of you losing the match is 98.9% you losing the match against Darby in a no disqualification match. But Omega's going to retain. Now, is Omega going to, how you call it? It's going to be easy for him? No. Because Kevin Knight could go. Kevin Knight's a high flyer. He's going to do everything possible, even do what he did this past Wednesday to Darby. And the crazy part is he let Omega bleeding, holding both belts at the end of the show. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy because, I never thought I would see that. Kevin Knight holding both belts, because that's his whole thing. He wants to be Jet Fly, whatever his name is, 2 belts. Jet 2 belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good match. I could see a good match. Now, the Don Callis family are going to get involved. I believe Don Callis will be at ringside. He's going to try to get involved or whatnot. Now, my question is, who's going to come out? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I see Omega winning this match and whatnot. Now, again, 10 matches they're going to have tomorrow and whatnot. So this is going to be a long night when it comes to the pay-per-view. And yeah, congratulations tonight in the main event. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Knight has been in AEW probably not even 2 years. And I like his whole demeanor. I like his whole style now, but it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a lot interesting to see how Omega deals with a guy like Kevin Knight, who's high flyer. He's gonna have to ground him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. So but so this is and again, let's talk about this whole thing, Kevin, with this whole All In stuff. First of all, before I leave, I want to talk about like I said, the All In stuff. I know that in the last couple of weeks, couple of months, I've been talking about how, Kyle Newman, the former IWGP World Champion and United Empire leader, pretty much, was going to try to get even with Will Ospreay. Now, I had a feeling like, okay, these guys are going to be in London. United Empire could fly in and one in London and have Ospreay get turned on after he wins the belt. That's not going to happen because apparently I posted something on my Chokeslam Wrestling Report group and Facebook where I put that Colin Newman said Ospreay came in April, asked me to help him with the Death Rider. Now he's a Death Rider. And I told him the last time, if you leave, you come back, you're not leaving. So that leads me to believe that after maybe All In, maybe in September, you could see the United Empire turning on Ospreay. It's not going to happen in AEW. It's going to happen in Japan. So that's definitely going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then we have the situation with the All In with Moxley, Omega, and Ospreay. Again, Moxley's stirring the pot, to be honest. But there's a lot of things going on because, I don't understand when it comes to the Death Riders. The Death Rider comes out when a heel team is about to beat up, or a group of heels comes out to beat up Ospreay. They come out to help him. And Ospreay is supposed to be a fan favorite. And some of the matches that John Moxley has, after he beats his opponent, he shakes their hands. That's not a sign of heel. But meanwhile, we've seen Pac, Castognoli, the Wardlow, they're all together. They're all heels. They have attacked Edge or Copeland and Cage in recent weeks. So it's just like, it's confusing. But I have a feeling that, first of all, I don't even think every week I come and how you call it? Every week I come and I check the shows and all that, and every time I look at it, it's like it's a lot of confusion because now this whole with Omega and Moxley and Ospreay, is Ospreay going to pull the trigger if he needs to? He probably can't hit Kenny Omega with the Tiger Driver 95. Something that he said he never used, but he used it on MJF. Okay. So that's one thing. Or you can have MJF come back and get even with Ospreay because there's no, especially what Ospreay did. Ospreay took the ring and they gave it to Andrades. So this is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let me check these comments here. Steven said, despite TK starts pay-per-view an hour early, but still we end up at midnight. Yeah, it's 5 hours. That's ridiculous. It's crazy. Steve said just over a month away for All In. Ticket sale close to 35,000. And let's see. TK better hurry up to add some matches quick for All In to get ticket sales up. I mean, I'm sure he'll have it. Trust me. And then it says 1 week they're faced next week. They're healed and one to death. Yeah. It's confusing. But right now, I like what's going on when it comes to the world title match because it has you thinking, is Moxley going to turn on Ospreay? Is Moxley going to get involved in the title match? You know what I'm saying? Is MJF going to come back and get even with, Will Ospreay? Is Kenny Omega turning heel? Maybe the whole elite team turns heel. But I don't see that happening, especially the elite part. And Kenny Omega being heel again. I don't see. I mean, the craziest thing that, again, me and my boy were talking about. Imagine in the match, Will Ospreay is wrestling Kenny Omega, and Omega goes back to the Don Callis family, and Don Callis helps him to retain the belt. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Chat, let me know what you think about that one. If he was to return back to Don Callis. As much as Don Callis claimed that he hates Omega, because Okada's about to leave. I can see Okada the next one to leave the Don Callis family. I mean, we've seen it this past Wednesday. He hit the Rainmaker on Kyle Fletcher. I can see it happening. So we'll see what happens and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think of this episode of this prediction for tomorrow. Again, we don't know if they're gonna have 0 hour matches. I don't know if they have not announced it. They might announce it tonight. A Collision, But I'm definitely looking forward. The match that I'm really looking forward to seeing, to be honest, let me go to the list here. I think the Kyle Fletcher and Bandido match. I think that's going to be the match of the night. Because the other rest of the matches, Mark Davis and Andrade, I would like Andrade to win that match. But the how you call it? But the Bandido versus Kyle Fletcher, I'm sure that everybody, hey everybody, we got any Christian Cage peeps in here? I don't know if there's people here. Just say yes. I don't know. So I'm a Christian Cage fan. I love his work when it comes to his promos. His promos are classic. I mean, I think he does the best promos ever. I mean, even when he was in WWE, his promos are classic here in AEW. So, yeah, so, that's the match I'm really looking for, the Fletcher versus, how you call it, Bandido. Because, again, I'm still waiting to see if Brody King turns on Bandido. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for coming in and participating this week. Very friendly like this week. No crazy stuff. People coming in talking nonsense and whatnot this week, but let's keep it that way. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram. I'm buying. Yeah, I know. Yeah. They always have matches. Yeah, I know. But right now, there's no announcement on it. So I'm not even going to even talk about it and even assume. But I'm sure they'll have. So, again, you guys can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We just hit 2 million. 2 million views on this channel. We hit 2,300 subscribers. We're gunning for 3,000 subscribers. So let's make it happen, guys. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for everybody. Shout out to my boy Steve Chambers, OPC, boy Justin, showing me love like I do every week. I want to thank everybody who is in here in the chat and whatnot. Again, you can follow me on Instagram, the X, and Facebook. Of course, the YouTube channel. Also, this is also in audio, so you can follow also on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, any audio podcast platforms that you guys like to listen to your favorite podcast. So again, thank you very much. I will see you guys next week. And next week is going to be very interesting because I'm trying to decide what I'm going to review, because next week we got SummerSlam also. Most likely I am going to review the pay-per-view from tonight, for tomorrow, Redemption, and maybe the following week I'll do the SummerSlam. So, and by then it'll be good because then we'll see Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and then we'll figure it out all out where everything is going, heading for September or whatever the case may be. So until then, guys, be safe. We'll talk to you guys next week with more of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. But before I leave, also, guys, check out the podcast store, tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. We got hoodies, we got shirts, we got hats. So, check out the podcast store. Appreciate it. That would be great. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys next week.